If you enjoy listening to inspirational stories from people just like us, facing the fear and doing it anyway, then you're in the right place. My name is Claire Hill, and this is the No Rest for the Vivid podcast. Hello, welcome to another mini Monday episode of the No Rest for the Vivid podcast. Welcome to a new week. How are you feeling? Are you feeling overwhelmed? If you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed, I've got something for you. I'm going to tell you about my little organisation hack, which I have mentioned in previous episodes, but sometimes we just need to be reminded of things, don't we? And it's all going to go in a little mini thing. So this is going to be the quickest fire little podcast with the most maximum value ever. So I'm going to tell you about how I organise my brain. Well, one of the tools I use to organise my brain. Now, all of everything that I'm going to say to you, you can do in Trello. If you don't know what Trello is, it's a fantastic organisation, project management software. It's really, really useful. But as I'm going to tell you this, you can choose whether to do this in Trello. Free account is great, so it doesn't cost you any money, or you can do it on a piece of paper. Up to you. First up, make sure you've got an hour. You need an hour for this when you first do it, if you're feeling mega overwhelmed. And actually, maybe you don't need an hour, but you need some time. Number 2, brain dump. I want you to brain dump everything in your head. And I mean it, like literally everything. Do you need to do the cat litter tray? Do you need to check whether there's ketchup in the cupboard? Do you need to talk to your mother-in-law about babysitting? Something like that. Everything, as well as business stuff, everything in your brain, get it down on that paper and or Trello. Okay, brain dump it. Next step is to highlight or color code. You can do that in Trello. All of the things that are important and urgent. And what I mean by that is important as it must be done. There is no way around it, no negotiation. It must be done. And urgent, it must be done in the next 1 or 2 days. Now, once you've done that highlighting, I want you to look at those tasks straight away. I just want you to focus on what's pink. That's all you need to, if you're going to colour it pink. I always do my urgent and important stuff pink, but whatever colour you choose. Then I want you to order each of those tasks in priority of worst first. This is relating to a grandma principle. This means that you are going to get a lovely little dopamine hit after every single one, because the next thing you have to do is less worse than the first. So order it and write a number, or move the cards around if you're on Trello. Write a number next to these things in the order of worst to best. Then I want you to find what I call a dog job. Now, I have no idea why I call it a dog job at all. I've no idea, but I call them dog jobs. Jobs that are really easy and actually quite fun to do because you feel like you're achieving, you're getting dopamine, and they don't move the needle in your business, really. So I want you to allocate yourself 10 minutes to do a dog job before you start the urgent and important tasks. The dog job could be printing stuff, labeling, tidying a drawer. You know the kind of jobs I'm talking about. I want you to put a timer on for 10 minutes and start with that job, and then do number 1. The next thing I want you to do is to put a timer on for 25 minutes when you start task number 1, and then have a 5-minute break. This is the Pomodoro technique. Only work in what are they called, sections? I don't know. Only work in chunks. That's what I wanted. Only work in chunks. So 25 minutes. It's going to help your momentum. Once you've done those important and urgent tasks in the order of worst to best, and you've done that, ticked it off your list, maybe it goes over a couple of days. That's okay. Whatever. You've done that. Then go back to your list and do the same thing again. If you feel less overwhelmed, go through and see what's important but not urgent. Those are the kinds of jobs that schedule in for next week. Make sure you've got enough time for them. Now, that's just the beginning. That's just a taster, but that's how I work If I'm feeling overwhelmed and feel like I'm losing control, that is the first thing I do. Because remember, our brains are for thinking. They're not there for remembering and organising. You're putting too much pressure on yourself to think you can remember everything in your head. And Trello is my new best friend. There you go. Have an amazing week. Thank you so much for listening to the No Rest for the Vivid podcast. Written, produced and hosted by Claire Hill. And music has been composed by my brother, Phil Vidler.